Hey everypone, once again there's a new MLP analysis video up on my new channel if you still haven't caught on that that's a thing, but today we're going to go on a really long-winded, unscripted, sort of video log thingy podcast, I guess, where I'm going to talk about YouTube monetization, how it works, why it's a great idea, and why it totally fails. In the process of this video, I will actually show you through this capture software what it looks like to monetize YouTube videos, how it works, everything about it, so that I can give you a real sense of what it is I've been trying to do, what it is that YouTubers do when they make these videos, why it does or doesn't work for certain people, and why it's not working for me. But for starters, I'm going to explain why I like the idea so much in the first place. One of the questions a lot of people ask, or probably think at least, is what makes you think you should or can make money off of whatever you're doing? The reason I think that I can and should make money off of what I'm doing is simply the same basis of all of economics. It's just supply and demand. I have created a demand for my own videos, and that's what makes YouTube special. It's a place where you can create demand for something that no one knew there was demand for. The funny thing about the entertainment industry is that it's an extremely difficult thing to break into because you can't really predict what stuff there's going to be demand for, and trying to predict that stuff is how you end up with a whole lot of empty, shallow, shitty creative work. For instance, let's have a look at any girl's show that isn't My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. The reason these shows are created is because a corporation like Hasbro tries to predict what little girls demand, and then they make a show based on that, and they hope that it sells well. And often it does, because, you know, these people are pretty decent at predicting demand. They go out of their way to study it. With Friendship is Magic, they managed to strike the right balance of finding stuff that they knew there was a demand for, and accidentally creating new demand. Accidentally on the part of Hasbro, not on Lauren Faust, although I'm sure she didn't know it was going to happen on the level it did. So the point is that she created a demand for something that there had not previously been a known demand for. If I wanted to play it safe, doing what I do, there are plenty of ways to actually be an analyst and make money off of it. It's actually quite common. If you've ever read a magazine, that's kind of the same as what I'm doing. They're writing articles about pop media, getting published, and they get paid for it. Almost everything in magazines is absolutely atrocious, so I don't want to write for them, because the problem is that magazines, again, are predicting demand. They're predicting what they think the reader wants to hear. Even major websites that run like magazines, like The Escapist, they are predicting demand, and therefore they have certain ways that they go about releasing things. For instance, let's look at one of my favorite, but ultimately extremely flawed analysts, Ben Yahtzee Croshaw. I love this guy's videos. The problem is he has to put out a video every week and talk about all the new games that come out. As a result, he has to talk about a lot of games he doesn't care about, put out videos that have no real feeling behind them because he's just making a bunch of jokes and doesn't really have time to get into depth with things. Even when he talks about a game he does like, he doesn't have time to really get into the bones of what makes that game special. That's why when I found out about YouTube analysts like Errant Signal or Mr. Beatung or Matthew Matosis, these are people who only put out a video every once in a while, but their videos are long, very long, and super in-depth. And I believe that at least Errant Signal makes money off of his videos. His are posted on Blip first and then also YouTube. He doesn't have as many YouTube subscribers as I do, for instance, but he has his videos on Blip, and, you know, there's mandatory advertising on there. I don't know if all he does is make videos. I doubt it, but I know that it's probably a big part of how he's able to continue making them is probably because he gets the funding from the ones he's made before. These are people who set out to do a kind of video that they wanted to do, that they wanted to see, and they found some level of success with them. Obviously, I have found a massive level of success by introducing something and then creating demand for it. People said, yeah, I do like this brand of My Little Pony analysis. I'd like to see more. And I went, I will happily provide more. The question is, how do I get the money from you guys? Obviously, the demand is not high enough for you guys to pay for these videos because you probably don't really want to pay for them. Some of you might like to if you want to support me and stuff and help keep me afloat, but I don't want to charge you for them. That's really difficult for me to do. A huge part of the benefit of YouTube is that it's all free and you can easily find it, and it's, you know, I want to keep it all fun and breezy, not corporate and weird. What's great about supply and demand is that there's also a demand for viewers, and that demand is on the part of advertisers. So when advertisers look at the fact that I have 40,000 people watching my videos, they say that's 40,000 people that could be watching advertisements for our products. We will pay you to let us put ads on your video. And then, you know, they're making money from you guys, or rather they're putting their ads out for you guys. I still don't really know how ads work. The fact of the matter is that my videos draw attention, and advertisers want attention, so they pay for me to keep your attention. This is a pretty ideal system for me. It means that the people who watch the videos don't have to pay anything. The people who do pay have a reason to be paying for it because I'm putting ads up, you know. There is a clear chain of supply and demand going on there. The big advantage being that I can do whatever I want. My level of success is really dependent on how long I can keep up the demand for my videos. If I were to make videos that say no one cared about and I kept doing that, then the demand would diminish because people would say, oh, he's not doing what we like anymore. But if I can keep making videos that you guys appreciate, then you'll keep watching them. Advertisers will keep putting ads on my videos, and I'll keep making money from those ads. But here's where the flaw in the plan comes together, and that is YouTube. I will now explain to you exactly how YouTube monetization works by showing you. Now, as you may know, monetization has been turned off on my classic Digibrony channel. Ordinarily, right here where my mouse is, there would be a little green icon that would be a $sign. And if the video was monetized, it would have a white icon. I'll show you this in a minute anyway, but there would be a bunch of icons here, but because they disabled monetization for my channel, those icons are all gone. The reason they disabled monetization for my channel is that I had over 5 videos that were blocked worldwide, and that automatically shuts off monetization on your videos. I removed all those videos because otherwise I wouldn't be able to upload anything that's over 15 minutes anymore, but nonetheless I did not gain back the ability to monetize videos, and apparently I won't gain it back for 6 months. There is a process of appeals for this, but it is extremely convoluted and very rarely works because of the fact that YouTube's just too big to really worry about any one person. You know, they're just They let machines handle most of this, and you just basically get fucked over if you get fucked over. It's, you know, it's not exactly a stable or safe career choice. Let's go to a channel where I can monetize videos, the new Digibrony channel. Now you'll notice something here. The first video I put out says it's monetized. It's green, it's got this little white $sign on it. That means that every time you click on this video, there would be an advertisement if you have no ad blocker or anything, and that would make me a little bit of money from you watching the ad. The more of the ad you watch, the more money I make. If you click on the ad, I get a little extra, basically a couple of cents for each, you know, person who watches it. That's great. 30,000 views plus monetization equals, you know, a few dollars. Like, you know, a decent handful of dollars. Well, here's the problem. See how these ones have these exclamation points? What they say is not monetized. Click to provide proof of commercial use rights. What happens is, if I upload a video and I click the little button that says, here, I'll show you where it is. You go to the edit tab, like when you're uploading your video, it just has this thing called the monetization tab. You click on this and it says monetize. You choose whether you want overlay in video ads or true view in-stream ads. These are the ones that play before your video, and that's where most of the money comes from. The overlay ones, the ones that are like sitting on the screen, I don't even know if you get paid unless they click on those, but yeah. So, whatever. My videos are really sparse on visuals, so it doesn't really bother me that there's a thing on the bottom of the screen. It's not really that distracting. Then we have, what happens is, I click on that little monetize button, and then basically here on this page, this green thing, there would not be a white $sign. It would be grayed out at first. And if it's grayed out, that means I'm waiting for them to decide whether or not they're going to monetize it. If they decide to monetize it, they'll put this little white sticker on it, and that means I'm good to go. Usually that'll happen within seconds. Like, it should instantly happen if it's going to be monetized. If that thing is grayed out, there's a good chance it's going to eventually turn into one of these. Usually it takes a couple hours, but then I get this. Not monetized. Click to provide proof of commercial use rights. So I click on that, and it says, your video is currently not approved for monetization. To consider your request, YouTube requires information regarding your commercial use rights for your video. I click, I can provide proof of commercial use rights, and it says, you know, choose the option that best describes it. My video contains only original content, which is not entirely true. Or I have an online license for some or all of my content, which definitely isn't true. Nobody's actually given me a license. Or I have written permission, and I definitely don't have that either. The problem here is that there is no option for all of my content falls under fair use rights. I've tried clicking on this one and then saying as much in here, but they don't buy it. They just put a little red circle with a line through it, which means, hey, we decided that you don't get to monetize this video. So it's not blocked. It's not actually flagged or anything. It's not even considered that it is containing unoriginal content. YouTube just suspects the possibility that it might contain unoriginal content, and I can't prove that it doesn't. That's the problem. That's why I can't monetize the videos. It's not because they have unoriginal content. It's because YouTube thinks they have unoriginal content, even though they're not really sure. They can't even prove it. The videos that I have that usually go through just fine, look at all these Digi's Crib videos, because it's all live action footage. They don't really have to, they don't have any suspicion about it. Nothing in YouTube's filters like hits a snag and goes, wait a minute, this doesn't seem right. So all that stuff just goes up fine. But then if I have something like a video where there's a bunch of Dark Souls footage or Demon Souls footage, then it goes, wait, this is video game footage. We don't think you have the right to use this. So that's why my videos get denied for monetization. Now, on the old Digibrony channel, most of the videos, not even most, I'll say, yeah, a good portion of the videos were denied. Most of them had the little exclamation points on them. It was like only a handful of videos that got properly monetized that made it so I was able to make enough money because those videos got popular enough. But I started losing or missing out on huge amounts of money when they wouldn't monetize future videos. So like I made a lot off of like the Alicorn Princess video was allowed to be monetized, the explanation of girliness video was allowed to be monetized, and those made a lot of money. But then like one of my biggest videos recently, characterization, this one got denied, and it has 82,000 views. That would have been worth a lot of money for me, but it didn't get monetized. And the funny thing is that I made less money after releasing that video than I would have if it had not come out at all. I don't know why that is, but when you release a video that doesn't get monetized, you make less total than you would have if that video did not even come out. I guess it's because people are watching that one instead of older ones or something. I really don't know how that works, but so, on a day when I was hoping I'd go from making like $5 to that day to maybe making $20 that day, I instead made like $4 that day because this video did not get monetized. And, that's a crying shame. And some people will say, well, what makes you think you're allowed to use this footage and stuff? And it's like, well, what are you talking about? There's people constantly using footage and stuff. They're just on official websites, Any major gaming site has reviews that use footage from the games on them. Any major movie site has footage from movies in their, even if it's just the trailers, they usually use some kind of imagery from the thing. I'm at a point now where I gave up on using footage from the show entirely. In my Digibrony YT videos, I've only been using still images, but YouTube has still been flagging them. I've done a lot of experimentation to try to figure out what works and what doesn't, what will be allowed to get monetized and what won't, and it's completely random. There's no possible way to predict what's going to happen. I've tried so much different stuff and had like one gets monetized and I go, oh, I guess I can do it that way, but then the next time I do it that way, it doesn't happen. It's weird. I have no explanation for it at all. So yeah, it's extremely difficult to properly monetize YouTube videos of this nature. So you're probably wondering, well, how do so many other YouTube channels get away with it? Why are so many YouTube channels easily monetized, even ones that contain lots of footage from stuff? For instance, look at someone like JonTron. That guy's making bank. He's got 40,000, 500. He's got 500,000 subs. He's making a lot of money using game footage. Well, here's the thing. He's also with the group The Game Station. Now, these are basically, they're called, what are they called? YouTube, shit, I don't remember what they're called. Anyway, you join one of these, and these guys basically will take a cut of your profit, but they also pay you. They straight up will pay you for whatever number of hits you get on your video. They pay you per number of views. So you're basically promoting them, and they pay you for it. So these guys, because they are directly paying JonTron, he can still make money even if his stuff is not allowed to be monetized. At least I think that's how it works. I'm not entirely sure. But from what I understand, it's way easier to make monetized videos if you get signed to some kind of station or network or whatever. Network, that's what they're called. If you get signed to a network, it's much easier to make money off of your videos. I don't know if that's because they help you with copyright protection or what. I really don't know because I'm not a member of one. And here's why. Because they're almost all gaming related. I've actually been invited to a couple of really small ones, but the thing is I've heard a lot of horror stories about joining networks as well. They can easily fuck you over with their contracts if you're not careful, or they can pay you less than you would have made just with a YouTube partnership, just a regular YouTube partnership, which, by the way, if you didn't know, all you have to do to become a YouTube partner is you just you make an account, you go into your settings, and it should say somewhere it should just be click here and you monetize your videos, and you're just okay, you click it, done. That's all you have to do to monetize your YouTube videos. Literally anyone can try. You just might get fucked over and have your account deleted if if they decide that whatever you're doing was not appropriate. So it's very easy actually to monetize YouTube videos. It's just a matter of being successful with them, and you can't be successful with them if this keeps happening. Because my videos, with the amount of hits they're getting, by all rights, I should be able to do this as a career. But the amount of hits doesn't matter if there's no fucking ads on them, and I can't get signed to a network because there's no network for bronies. If there was, there'd probably be other brony YouTubers on that network, but I'm currently one of the biggest brony YouTubers myself, so I would basically be the one who had to start the network. I'm the one who would have to be paying everyone else. I don't know. So my point is that even though this system is super ideal, even though I have won the system in terms of proving that I have something that people care about, that this is something that people could make money off of, but because of YouTube's broken systems, I just can't. It's really sad because by all rights I've done all that it takes to be a successful YouTuber, except for the fact that YouTube won't let me. I hope this gives you a good understanding of how YouTube monetization works, why I can't really do it, and why I am now looking for alternative solutions, because this just isn't happening. If no matter how many videos I upload, no matter how popular they get, I mean, this new video has 20,000 views in a day. That would be spectacular for anyone, but I can't make any money off of it. And I know that you might be thinking, well, just do it for the love, and I am. I mean, I'm still putting out these videos in spite of this. None of this has made me want to stop, but I've gotten way too deep into this community. It's reached a point where I'm now having to, because I'm doing this thing with Equestria Daily where I'm putting up other people's analysis videos. So that involves me watching a lot of analysis videos. I'm trying to keep this community alive. I like being a part of it. I like that I can go into all these live streams and all these radio shows because I have time to do that stuff. And if I had to go get a job right now, I would lose that time. The amount of time it takes to make, when I had a job, when I was working part-time and I was making these videos, it was I worked, I made videos, I had no time for anything else, So now I can do all this more expansive stuff in the community. And if I didn't have to stress about money, I'd be able to do even more, because right now I have to think about this stuff, and so I'm constantly planning and plotting and making new accounts in new places and trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing to try to get this stuff to work again, because it was working really well for about 2 months, and then as soon as they cut off monetization to my account, it's I'm fucked now, because I can't make money off of any of my old videos. So literally the only videos that are getting me any money right now is this one Call of the Cutie video and the pennies that I'm making on Digibrony After Dark. By the way, just to give some perspective of because I'm not really supposed to tell you the actual amount that I make, because YouTube, apparently that's somewhere in the contract, and I don't want to piss off YouTube any more than I have. But I'm making pennies off of these, these other channel videos. Not nearly what I'd be making off of something like this Where Are the Stallions video would be making me a decent clip. That's my reasoning behind all this. I want to do this as a living because I take it seriously, just like anyone else who's a journalist or a writer of this nature does. There are a lot of YouTubers who are making money doing this. I know because I follow a hell of a lot of them. I am a big fan of YouTube. I follow a lot of channels. I know for a fact that fucking... I don't know for a fact, I haven't actually seen their pay, but I know that people like Egoraptor and JonTron are making like 6 figures off of YouTube, and I'm not asking for that. I'm not trying to make a whole ton of money. I'm just trying to make enough money that I don't have to work a part-time job at Target again. You know, that's all I really want. I don't need the success of Egoraptor or Game Grumps or any of these people here who I'm sure are all, you know, well set on their YouTube channels. I just need enough success that I can keep doing what I love doing. You know, I don't want to write for a magazine because my magazines suck. They are horrible, you know. I don't want to be Yahtzee, who has to review a game every week and not put his soul into it and not really write it in a way that's deep or analytical. I want to be like the guys who, you know, I want to be like Egoraptor, who can put out something like Sequelitis, where it's this deep, meaningful, entertaining video that you can watch forever. That's what makes him spectacular. He couldn't have done that if he wasn't doing it as a job, you know? Yeah, that's my motivation here. So I'm trying to find alternate solutions, and what's probably going to happen, well, what at this stage pretty much definitely is going to happen, is me and Brony Curious are going to do a Kickstarter, where basically we're going to try and fund the creation of new videos, new channels, and everything. Because if we make enough money, then we can just, you know, leave our jobs and make videos all the time. We can make way more videos than even we are now, you know. He and I have done a pretty good job of making a lot of videos all the time, you know, in spite of the fact that he still works and does other things. So, because I don't want to gate any content. Like, we could open a subscription service where it'd be like, oh, you pay this amount a year, or like pay whatever you want a year and you can watch the videos, but I don't want to have to hide my videos. I don't want you to have to pay for them. I'd rather that the people who want to pay, and we give you something for it. We've got this insane list of like tier rewards that we're coming up with, and there'll be a proper video about this when the time comes. I'm just telling you about it now because it's relevant to this video. This is the best option we've come up with. You know, I've looked to Blip. I don't like Blip. I explained this in another video, but Blip kind of sucks. Let me look for it. Here we go. It still says that I'm pretty sure it still says I've made no money anyway off the one video I put up here. Am I not logged in? I don't fucking know how to do this. Let me try to figure out how to log in real quick. Okay, just the amount of time it just took me to actually figure out how the hell to log into Blip is just indicative of everything that's wrong with it. But yeah, after 83 views, I've made 15 cents on this video. I mean, that's like not exactly ideal, and that's with forced ads. Everyone had to watch the ads on here. The site is ugly and dumb, and I hate it, and I'd rather not have to go through this avenue. I don't really see it being that successful. There are other video channels that we're looking into, and of course, if we can, even if this Kickstarter goes through, even if we can't figure out how to monetize YouTube ever, we'll probably put our videos somewhere else, but we're going to open up a website, and that's the way. Basically, this Kickstarter is funding us to open our own site, do things on our own terms, and make our own series, and we'll be able to make videos constantly if we meet these kind of goals. So rather than rely on something like Blip, we can just have people who want to donate, they'll get a shitload of prizes, we'll get to do our videos the way we want to, and you will get the best possible content that we can produce. Hopefully that's worth everyone's time and money. I'd like to believe it is. That was your extremely behind-the-scenes candid look at what it means to monetize YouTube videos. I hope you enjoyed it and that it was helpful to you, and that if you are trying to do anything similar to what we're doing, that you'll, you know, give some of this some thought, try to help us come up with other solutions, you know. I like the Kickstarter idea so far. I think it could possibly work, especially because me and Brony Curious love collaborating. We're very good friends, and we really want to provide something great with our plans for that Kickstarter. It's going to be exciting. Even if it fails, it will have been a lot of fun to try. But if anyone else has any ideas on what to do about this, then by all means shoot. I still love this platform. I still love this idea of doing things on my own terms, creating the demand that I can supply. I love that. I don't want to dumb down my content or do something stupid and different for some website that wants me to put out a video every week exactly, you know? So, yeah. Have a nice day.